Oh, hey everybody, Paul here with you. It is a late morning, I think. No, it's afternoon. It's 12:35. I've been walking all morning. I really did a lot of walking. Did my good deed for the day. The local homeless, drunk, smoking, drug-using people that live in the bushes over there by the grocery store are commandeering these $1,000 public shopping carts, and they're incredibly expensive. They're like $1,000 or more, and they think nothing of just taking 4 or 5 of them. So I went and I retrieved one on Friday, and then another one popped up over there. And then I found more where their hut is, that they smoke, drink, and do drugs. So it was nestled in these bushes, and they're not a big strip of bushes either. But anyways, I bought a couple of them over there, and I'm just going to take them every time. I'm all for the rights of homeless, but they had about 7 of the baskets over there. Can't do that. You know, these things are too expensive. And I'm no fan of Publix. I have plenty of issues with Publix. Now, let's go ahead and let's get you caught up on things. Let's go ahead and check out Bitcoin. We'll do the markets and then get you caught up. All right, Bitcoin, it's up $1,500, 72,300. Close enough. We'll take a look at gold and silver. Oh, oil prices. Let's take a look at oil. It's up $5. So 94.51. It's heading back up, folks. From what I understand, Trump was not able to work it out. We'll deal with it as we get into the news. But the news is not good, and I'm not happy about it because it's no good for our business. That's 100% for sure. It's just not good for our business. All right, let's have the gold and silver, and then we'll do the Dow. Okay, we've got. Sorry, it's coming up slow. Gold is down $7 to $4,750, and silver's up 14 cents at $76.33. And it's getting to the point where silver is becoming unconcerned about the price of oil or the consequences. It is exposing some of its investment properties because it is used as an industrial metal, especially in things like solar panels, etc., etc. There's plenty of usage, and that will slow for certain situations. However, I just listened to, I forget the name of that guy, he's always mad, it's the old guy. I'll put him on one day so you can see him. I forgot his name. He's an old Italian guy that talks with a heavy Bronx accent. He's a nice guy. I forgot his name. If you see his face, you'll know him. He's always talking about how bad things are. And he brought up an excellent point, and that is, folks, you can best believe me when I tell you that the solar panel industry is going to absolutely explode. Also, alternate forms of energy, those are also going to explode, all of it, because they know now that, not that I've ever been for it, I've not been for it, but now I'm for it because I was errant in my belief that gas and oil and stuff is going to be the better route. But the problem is, we have our first problem, and it's of consequence. And the reason I didn't like to put solar is because it requires redundancy. The solar, because it's not always sunny, and because it's like wind power. Wind power is great, except there's a tremendous amount of wear and tear on the spinner, which is the bearings. They always go bad. And on top of that, when we talk about solar has to have redundancy. Same thing with the wind, because there's not always wind, which means you have to have a backup system, which is electric. So it winds up coming to a lot of money. And it's one thing if you can run it alone, but you can't. You can run it alone for a while, but it requires redundancy. That's why I was against it. However, seeing this now makes me change my tune, and I am now for this alternative energy, okay? And that means the need for silver is gonna skyrocket, because they're probably gonna go fourfold now with these solar panels. It'll be fourfold. So they're gonna start using it by the ton very soon. They already are in some manners, okay? So let's go ahead and finish this out, okay? I probably missed something there that I was saying. That guy, forgot his name, but silver now up 34 cents to 76.53. Gold now down only $4. Or it was up, now it's down. But you see, there could be a disenjoyment between gold and silver, because gold is not used typically for industrial purposes. They use it for some connections on electronics, things like that. But gold is basically jewelry and investment perspective on that, you know. So silver has, like I told you too, you know, there's an investment aspect, and then there's industrial uses. Now we'll get off of that. Let's go ahead and go to the Dow and see what the Dow thinks of all this. And the NASDAQ, let's see. Okay, it's unfazed. It's only down 66 points, the Dow, and that's infinitesimal. So no issue there. And now we'll go to the NASDAQ, and let's see what the NASDAQ is going to be. NASDAQ likes it. It's up 123 points, half of 1%. Okay? It's sitting around 23,000. Now, let's go ahead, and there's nothing else we can check for markets. Let's just go ahead and get you caught up on what's going on. By the way, dumpster dive find 1. This is an excellent find. Man, I enjoy the hell out of these, and I look for them, and I was lucky. I had to use a stick, but I got it out. And these happen to be really, really fantastic, because you can't see it, but in there is Caesar salad dressing with croutons. And folks, yum. That's all I got to say. It is very soon to go in to my cooler. Number 2, although I'm not crazy about mini sweet peppers, these are all in good shape. Maybe there's a hole in one. I don't know. They all look to be in pretty good shape. And these give you a very good source of vitamin C. So this is a couple days worth of vitamin C right here. So I was very happy to get this. And let's go ahead and let's put these in the ice cooler here, which this is resting on, because it will taste even more yummy with it being cold, especially the salad. It was a little bit hot, so I hope it didn't destroy it. But I got a head of lettuce on top of everything else, so it's probably okay. Anyways, sorry, folks. This is part and parcel to try to get this all in. Okay, why aren't you going in? Please go in. Thank you. All right, so now we can go ahead and get into the Drudge and find out what the hell is going on today. Strong winds again today, looking at 30, 35, 40 mile an hour gusts, 46, 47 mile an hour gusts. Pretty steady 20, 25 mile an hour winds. So I'll have trouble with keeping the... Oh, by the way, I got comments on my channel, so let's take a look at those and field those before we go any further, okay? All right, let's take a look at my channel. I know I got a couple of comments. All right, well, and welcome, number 15. I don't know who you are, but I think you're the 19-year-old. And boy, what a treasure that is to have that on this channel. Okay, I got... let's take a look here. Sorry, now it's not doing... Okay, let me get to the messages. Okay, we've got... looks like they just struck Tel Aviv's last water plant. That was 19 hours ago. That's the AI Chinese guy. We'll see about this. Today, okay, we got both Syndicate, who I've known for a long, long time. And I hadn't seen him in a long, long time. And he found my channel. So, Syndicate is a good guy. I think he lives in Texas, I think. And we got 3 comments, one of them unrelated to me. Okay, Rudy Catootie, that's my name for him. He calls me everything. Have you seen James Comrade's Holy Shot? No. If it's a movie, I'll check it out. Let's see. I don't know what that has to do with Tiger Woods. I never found him to be the overly religious type, but I don't know. I'm going to respond back to him and tell him I'll take a look at it. If it's a movie, I'll take a look. I'll take a look. Okay. And now we've got Syndicate. Let's see what Syndicate is going to... By the way, Rudy Catootie there is going to do something to put up on my avatar, my photo for my thing, and he's going to do something very artsy-fartsy. I don't know what it is yet, but he's kind of indicated that. Let's see what Syndicate is saying. Let me see. He's saying, I have Verse Blue. It's not bad, but there's something missing in it that I can't put my nose on. Are you telling me you order the perfume, that one from New York City? Is that what you're telling me? Syndicate, I can't believe it. Did you just order it because, like, you heard it here? I can't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, it's called All the Good Oils. That place that I went to, I just ordered 2 more. I ordered After Dark by Azara, which is a copy of Wanted, and this one is called Wanted. It's called Azara After Dark. I think it's called After Dark. They sound really nice, and when you get them, they smell like a piece of shit. That's the problem with that place. Your chances of getting a nice perfume are around 18 to 15%, something like that. Believe me. And Syndicate is right. They leave out something in these perfumes, and it's the expensive oils. So, number 1, they don't last, at least typically, and number 2, especially with the Muslim perfumes, because I bought quite a few different ones, with the exception of one, which is that green one that has the duck head on the bottle. That one is very nice, and I'll stand by that one. I'll give it a real rating of like 94. I'll give that a real rating, and that's not rating on a lower scale. That's real rating. That is a beautiful perfume. The black and gold one, it is not. The one with the duck head on it, the eagle's head, or whatever it is. It looks like a duck head to me. I didn't care for it. The black and gold doesn't. But that blue and green one with the duck head on that New York City site, that one, you can trust me on that one. That one smells really good. It's probably the best smelling one of all of them. And it's a man's perfume. And the first time I showed it in Dunkin' Donuts, I just took it out of the package. The woman bought it for me, the cashier. She wanted it right away. So it's a very effeminate perfume. And because I think it's rose that comes up at the end, and it starts to take over. Once you get the original sniff, then it starts to take over, and it builds slowly. And you can smell, I think it's rose. So, I don't know, whatever. It's a beautiful perfume. I ordered After Dark in that Azaro, the 357 rotor thing, or whatever it is. And, what was the other one I got? My wife wanted the blue and the purple Verse, which is a copy of Versace, and they're exact copies by the bottle. They're very nice. They look very nice, and I'm going to get my nose on it, so I'm glad Syndicate made a comment on that. I got Deep Blue, which is supposed to be something like, some kind of perfume, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. And it is not very good. Does it smell okay? Yes. How do I describe it? It smells somewhere between that blue one was a deep blue. It's supposed to be something like Nautica, Deep Dive or something. It smells like something between that and a Windex sprayer that you spray on the windows or something like that. That's what it smells like. So, somewhere in between. So there you have it. What's the other one I'm getting? That's all I could get my wife. We ordered 24 of each pieces of the Versace clone. And I ordered 24 pieces of that. And my son picked out one. It's called Moody something. I forgot the name of it. And it's round and it's thin and tall. We'll see how that one goes. A guy left a comment on it and said, incredible smell. So we'll see. They always say that. But it could be the guy himself at the place there, Mike. So anyways, let's go ahead and get with the news, okay? While we're young. Anyways, thank you, Syndicate, for that. And thank you, Rudy Katootie there. I will take a look to see if that's a movie, and we'll find out what it's all about. All right, let's get into Drudge, because that's about the only place we have left to go right now, okay? Let's see what's happening and bring you up to date. Okay, no deal. All right, and they've got, this is really dangerous, okay? Honestly. We don't need to be seeing Trump as Jesus Christ or whatever that's supposed to be there. I don't know if that's the guy from Iran. Is that the guy from Iran? This is going to send shockwaves throughout the Muslim world. They're not going to like that one bit. I don't know who that's supposed to be. I really don't. I guess it's a very Christianized looking Muslim is what it looks like to me. Sorry, folks, they're throwing advertising at me. Let's go ahead and get back into the Drudge report. Disturbing, to say the least. He doesn't need any more mojo going for him, okay? He mocks Jesus. Last temptation of Trump. Okay, well, I must admit, the JWs don't really get too much into the Holy Grail and other things. They're more set very deeply in the massacre of people who do not believe in Jehovah, with great glee on their faces, by the way, because one should know, okay? So if they massacre you and your children, well, that's something you can kind of smirk about. And they even said it when I was listening to the thing. They were calling them out for, I forgot the name of that god. It was another god, Behil or Behar or whatever it is. And the Jehovah's people there went, where is your God? Did he go to relieve himself? This is actually in their text. And it says, maybe he's relieving himself. And they said, and you picked the wrong God. So they said, you should have picked Jehovah. And Jehovah massacred them by slaughter. And then how gleeful and happy the Jehovah's Witnesses were in the Kingdom Hall. Anyways, we won't get into it, okay? I know. It's about my only hookup right now that yields anything. So, I don't ask anybody here for anything on my channel, and I never do. I don't think it's right. Okay. He damns the Pope. I saw that yesterday. And I can't say that I blame him. I mean, if you want to take all the people into your country that are all put upon, how are you going to take care of them? I don't want to get into it, because all it does is make problems. It's like trying to say, maybe we should take a look at this little jaunt that they made to the moon, around the moon. Maybe we should take a little bit closer look at that. No, let's talk about how proud we were. You know what I mean? It's so ridiculous, folks. Not even one person skeptical in any way. All right. In red letters, judge dismisses Trump defamation lawsuit against Murdoch, Wall Street Journal about Epstein letter. I don't know what that means, and I don't care. J.D. Vance can't stop losing and losing and losing. I agree. He's a yokel from, what is it, BAM? Well, I forgot where he's from. But he's somewhere from the deep south, as I recall it. Kentucky? Could it be? I don't know. Tennessee? Where is he from? Georgia? I don't know, but where he's from, somehow he wound up getting hooked up with a Hindu. All right, so put that into your pipe and smoke it. All right? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm telling you, it's very bizarre. What the hell does a Hindu see in a yokel? I don't know. It's bizarre. All right. President said no other countries would help in putting their ships in harm's way there because they may get blown out. They have remote mines. You don't have to get close to blow a ship up. They could be, even if you track it, you may not be able to see it. They could have rockets. They could have all sorts of technology that could blow the hell out of the ships that we send and the crews inside. I would not want to be pussyfooting around over there, so to speak, in the boats. Now, it's just my thoughts on it. Okay, let's get going because we got so much more here to do. Conflict tilts world's energy future toward China. Quote, he's not sleeping, unquote, concerns Trump suffering mental health episode. So he may be zoned the fuck out. Who knows? I mean, he's getting old. What is he, almost 80 years old now? MAGA recoils as president cosplaying as Christ. Gross blasphemy. Yeah, Trump, I would tread easy on that, okay? If you were, running around like our good homeless friends here with a couple of stained up blankets that had seen the ground a few nights, that would be one thing, but you are not, okay? You know what they say, easier for, a hammer to go through a needle than it is for a rich man to get to heaven. Isn't that something close to it? I'm not extremely bright or educated in the world of Christianity, basically. All right. U.S. on high alert for terror attacks. Well, you did a good job. You let in all kinds of people that you don't know who they are, where they're from. Supposedly you know where they're from. But that's part of being a liberal that just insists on being a suicidal maniac and letting in people because either they're from your heritage or you just in general feel sorry for people and you want them to come in because we can help them. You're suicidal maniacs, folks. You don't know one thing from another. And you better start figuring it out. Because if you don't, this will take the last of whatever rights we have left. Just like the covert 19, when they told you to poke up. And when they told you, but with no choice, unless you went through a massive amount of headaches and constant headaches. And money and this and that. That's all right. They'll bring it back in some other way. You goddamn shitheads. My subscribers excluded. Thank you. You talk about me and I'll say something like these fucking assholes that talk about the end of the pandemic. If you ever mention that, you must have like a 48 IQ. You must be on the literal thing of like, not a Dumbo, but somebody who's not even functioning. It just means that you're completely ignorant and you don't know anything. You won't look through the news because you just believe what they tell you at face value. We had Neil Ferguson. He was the one whose his information telling us about how bad this was and how dangerous it was and that it required complete shutdown of countries and that China was doing the right thing and that the UK had to follow by locking everybody into their flats and houses because it was so dangerous. This was extremely dangerous. And the thing that makes me so mad is the people aren't gods. I'm a god. I watched the right kind of movies. When I see some of the movies that the people throw at me, it's so embarrassing that I can't even comment on this because it's so fucking lowbrow. I can teach you about this. You have to watch the movie with Judd Nelson, I think was his name, the bright star in the early 80s. From the hip, it taught you exactly how you should feel and how you should think about the COVID-19 scam. It was so bad. Neil Ferguson, the big leader of this charge, who told England and the world, England in particular, that up to 500,000 people would die if they didn't go into their flats immediately and stay there until they were told it was safe to come out. I'm not making this up, but you're a shitmouth and a shitbird. You don't understand because you've not looked around and saw other news. You've watched the news. It's like my boss. My boss says, well, typically I don't listen to news unless it comes on Channel 7 or Channel 10. You talk about pasteurization and homogenizing the news? Folks, it's all Jews bringing us the news. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's all Jews. It's all controlled by Jewish media. Go take a look for yourself. Rupert Holmes there in the Pina Colada. If you like pina coladas. We won't get into it. Let me continue on so you don't think I'm completely mad. What they showed in that movie, From the Hip, is it was presented as a very dignified professor of English, I believe, that was very likely a serial killer, rapist serial killer, and they had caught this guy in his car with all of the victim's belongings under his seat. And in this story, they have a hotshot lawyer who's a hotshot lawyer, and he's a newly hotshot lawyer, breaking all the molds. Now, this is back in 1983 or something, 84. And so this was more novel. Now they've probably done it 1 billion times. And he was very popular among the masses, the unwashed or typical masses. And he knew this, and he said, I want that lawyer. And, they talked about it, and they have to decide whether or not to take the case. And, he offered like a $50,000 or $60,000, what do you call that, retainer? And he has to talk about it, this new lawyer, because he's only been literally just like a month, been a lawyer. And things worked out for him in a magnificent way. And he has to talk about it with his partners, because there's partners. And they told him, they said, look, this is a loser. Your client has, he's found with the murder weapon and the clothing. That's what it was, a hammer and the clothing, the bloody stained clothing of the victim, under his seat in his car. It's a loser. And that's what they told him. And they kind of, because of the money, they kind of forced him to do it. And he took it. And I won't give away the ending of it, but it teaches you about the COVID-19. It teaches you. Because in court, what they found out about this man was, and it was played by John Hurt, I believe is the name of it. Wonderful. I think he's a British actor. I think he's British. Wonderfully acted by him. And he makes it very clear that he wants this guy to be his lawyer because he's the Abraham Lincoln or pissed off Abraham Lincoln of his day. And he's this and that and the other thing, and he knows what he's talking about. That guy could get him off just on his personality and his rogue personality. Unfortunately, the client threatened the lawyer, all of the lawyers there with him, threatened them. But he didn't do it through regular ways. He did it through insinuation that they would live to regret not doing what he was asking them to do. They were trying to get him to not testify. He wanted to testify, the guy. So they kept telling him, don't testify. That is he's going to get cross-examined, and that guy right there, the attacking district attorney, attorney? This young lawyer told him, I'm not lying to you when I tell you that he is extremely dangerous and well equipped to put you in jail. And then he just, the client there just smugs and says, you're really going to try to get me, aren't you? No doubt telling me extremely for my benefit. So I would understand more, right? And he winds up going into something that was very scary. And the lawyers knew it. They said, he literally just threatened our lives. And they said, we can't, because it's a veiled threat. And on the stand he came across as such a beautiful, wonderful person. And the lawyer knew he should have excused himself from the case that was protecting him, because he knew he was absolutely fucking batshit fucking mad. And he probably did it. He was batshit fucking crazy. But he gave the impression that he was very mild-mannered. And in that movie, you will see what happens. And, you know, my one good friend there on my subscription, not Syndicate, but Rudy, he still doesn't understand. He'll understand the scam once he watches that movie. And then, of course, when you put the other one, I forgot the name of it, Shadows of the Mind or whatever it was from Star Trek, I put it together. All it took was those two things, and then I understood. But that's when you're a god. You're not going to be able to understand that as a regular, unwashed masses. Even if you're somewhat intellectual, you're not going to get that. But that movie will teach you about scam. Now, let's finish this out. World's oldest gorilla celebrates birthday. I don't feel like 10 minutes. We don't have time for that. Okay, I don't know how old he is. All right, let's see. A cardinal says that Trump's sickening posts are awful. Sorry, folks. Much of this is probably not going to be news. New Denza Z9 GT EV, 1140 brake horsepower, which means at the wheels. Okay, the car has a certain amount of horsepower. It's lower at the wheels once it's transferred and geared down to driving ability. Crab walking and 9-minute charge. Crab walking, I believe, is like when you try to parallel park. That might have legs to come out. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. From coffee to homes, everything is up. Well, no shit. Why do you think I bankrupted myself buying fucking perfumes and fucking scooters, electric scooters? Why do you think? Surcharges are suddenly everywhere. Yeah, I know. You know, I remember a joke. I forgot, it was a comedian, and he said that he used to be a businessman, and like he went all over the place and flew, and all the time he had to take out $5 or $3 or whatever out of his pocket because, and this is back in the 80s, so they were like $1 bills. And he said, like, it was constant, like, you know, the bellhop or the guy that lifted the bags up for you. He always had money. So he said, when he got home one day, he said he saw his son, and his son came up and grabbed him and held him on his leg, and he said, "Daddy, I love you." And he reached into his pocket to give him $1. It's like a funny little joke there, you know. And I thought it was pretty funny. Anyways, okay, let's continue on here, and we'll finish this out. Millionaires don't feel rich. I guess it's the end of that Hungarian president. It says the end. Anxious parents spending upwards of $50,000 to land their kids a job. Missing nuke official, 10th person tied to dark pattern surrounding U.S. secrets. We're almost done here, folks. There's maybe 3 more stories, and we're late here. Inside Saudi Arabia's $1 billion bet on Hollywood. It's all chic your booty, folks. Okay? I mean, what do you need to know about this? Okay? What do you need to know about chic your booty? Huh? It's pretty simple. Okay? They're corrupt from top to bottom. You talk about sex with Girls, right? And yes, they prefer girls, frankly. I will not argue that one. Let's see here. 30-minute sauna section fires up immune system. Britney Spears checks into rehab. Poor girl. She's all fucked up. She's all fucked up. So, take care, folks. We have made it. And I will see you tomorrow or later today. Bye.